For our podcast today, we are with someone I've been looking forward to having on for quite some time. He is the tallest person I've ever had on this podcast. We got the starting center for the Cactus Cobras, Bradey Henige. Appreciate you coming on, man. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. It's cold and raining out, so it was a little depressing going and getting coffee this morning with how it looks outside. But I know you guys are kind of midway through the year, got a little bit of a showcase today at your school, I know. But how's your season been with you and the rest of the team so far this year?
Been really good. We started 11-0, so we just been trying to play dominant, even though we don't have that much depth right now. But we just been playing our game.
Even though you guys are 11-0, which we're going to get into in a second, what would you say has been like the biggest challenge you faced so far throughout the year? Is it just depth and not being able to have a lot of guys? Is it, you know, a lot of tough competition? You guys have won a lot of close games, but with the help of you, you guys have come out on top in a lot of them. But what's been the biggest challenge so far for you guys?
Probably be depth because we started off the first like 6 games with only 7 players. So because our football team was in the state championship, so we didn't get our football guys till like 2 weeks ago.
You guys, like you said, 11-0. A lot of key wins like Sunrise Mountain and even Deer Valley as well, two top teams in your guys' region over there in Glendale. How do you feel your team has gone leveled up compared to your competition? How do you feel you guys as a team collectively have played so far through these first 11 games?
I think when we play better teams, we all step up, especially the role players. I think just our defense, we really lock in on defense and just create a lot of pressure on the other team, so they make like bad passes and all that. And then our 3-point shooting, because I got the paint, so they help stretch out the floor with the 3-point shooting.
What's it like, you're looked at as one of the top guys in the state. I haven't been able to watch you come and play this year, which is still on my bucket list. I have your schedule up, which we'll get into later of a game I'm going to try and come and see. But um, I'm sure you intimidate a lot of guys the second you kind of step on the court. Is that a weird feeling for you being able to kind of step out and just kind of like dominate and intimidate your opponents the way you have? Or what's kind of the feelings you get on the court when people kind of look at you crazy?
I mean, I'm really used to it because I've been like that my whole life. I was 6'8" in 8th grade, so I've been like the top guy always. But I like it. I like when they're a little intimidated. I like kind of joke around with them and stuff, but it's cool.
Um, what things were you focusing the most on this off season? I know you kind of picked up a lot of recruiting. You went on a
Yeah.
visit, which we're going to get into in a bit too. But you have been starting to get more popularity. I know you got an article written about you a couple of weeks back. But what things did you focus on most this off season and kind of have continued to try and grow in throughout as the season's gone on?
Probably just my ball handling, and then I worked a lot on my mentality too, trying to just like stay locked in and have like no distractions.
So, like I said, excuse me, in the intro, you're 7 feet tall. You're the tallest guy I've had on. You're looked as one of the top players in the state with how you're able to use your size and skill to your advantage. Just with how physically dominant you are and all the things that you kind of bring to the table when you step on the court. For the rest of the season, what can we expect from Bradey Hennig?
Just the same thing, being dominant and hopefully some more 3-point shooting. I'm trying to get that more. So yeah, just staying dominant and more rebounds.
What's one word you would say best describes how you play? With the clips I've seen of you, I'm sure a word that will pop up throughout everybody is just like dominant and just like overtowering. I guess I don't even know, but in your mindset and in your eyes, what's one word you'd say best describes how you play?
I would say dominant, but I would also say aggressive. I play really aggressive on the court with my rebounding and then just trying to score every time I can get the ball.
Is there anybody you try to play like? I know like it seems like every center when they're in high school and even at the college level, when at your size, is able to kind of just do whatever they want on the court with the right skill set. There's so many bigs I'm sure that you've tried to pick up things from, but is there one or is there a handful that you try to like add pieces of their game and bring it to yours to continue to grow and make your game better?
Yeah, probably Jokic and DeAndre Ayton.
That's an interesting combo because we just saw those two guys go up against each other on Christmas
Yeah,
Day. What is it about Jokic? Because I know a lot of people, they love how his passing is kind of just one of the things that steps off the board, how he's able to run the floor kind of on that, not necessarily downhill type style, but I mean, he's pretty fast for a dude that's what, 7 foot, 7'1". What is it about him first that you love and you try to play like?
it would definitely be the passing and how he's just like a big guard, like being able to run the offense and all that as a 7 footer. I think that's pretty cool.
And then DeAndre Ayton, um, he's a guy I've had a problem with ever since he got into the league because he is your height. And I feel like if you were in his position, you would just try to physically dominate the smaller defenders that are going up against you in the paint. He, for some reason, likes to do these little jump hook floaters and like jump shots from the free throw line. What is it though about him that kind of attracts you to want to play with his style of game?
Like you said, with the little jump shot, hook shots, I do that a lot with my left hand, so I like that a lot. But then he gets a lot of alley oops from Chris Paul, and I love me some alley oops. So
Yeah, I've seen a couple of clips of you and your point guards running on the fast break, and you hit what, two the other day in your game?
yeah, yeah, I had
Um,
6 dunks yesterday, and I had that alley oop from the when he threw it off the 3 point line. So
let's get into that first before we kind of get into your stats and how you've progressively grown throughout these last couple of years. What tournament are you guys in, and what's the competition been like for you?
it's our tournament. We're hosting it. It's the winter shootout. Yesterday it was Trevor Brown. They're not that like good, but we took them because they were the last spot they came in. So it was an easy game. I only played like 3 quarters, but I still had 25 and 15. But the other teams seem to be pretty good. We play Paradise Valley today.
Okay,
Should
that
be
that that'll be a tough test.
yeah.
They weren't that good last year. I think they only had like 2 wins last year, but it seems like they got a couple of guys that are really good. Um, what round are you guys in? Semis, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so like you said, you kind of just put up numbers galore. It seems like every single time you play on the court. I know you also play volleyball too, which we could get into in a bit. Um, but this season so far, you're averaging 31 and a half points, 23 rebounds, 2 steals, and 4 blocks a game, which that is like Jokic type numbers, I feel like, with how you play. What has made you, though, feel so confident to be able to go out and dominate like you have? Because there's not a lot of guys, especially at your age, you're only a junior, that are able to go play like that. But with your average of 32, pretty much 32, 23, 2, and 4, what has made you feel so confident to go out and dominate this year?
I think with losing so many seniors last year, we lost 7 seniors. I knew how to take that next step and be more dominant. And I think my coaches put more trust in me to play my game. So I think that helped a lot. And then my dad's on the coaching staff now, so that also makes me like more comfortable and like not worried about like making a mistake or anything.
Have you felt like you've kind of had, with losing so many seniors, you're having to take more of a leadership role, pick your guys up when you're in a tough stretch, or you let the other team go on a run? Have you felt kind of you've had to take that leadership jump in your junior year so far?
Yeah, definitely. Because most of the guys on our team were from JV last year, so they've really never been in that environment where there's like actually a real crowd and like actually fan interaction and all of that. So definitely,
Do fans go after you when you're playing
yeah,
away
all,
games? What's that like?
all the
What are they kind of yelling at you? Because I feel like if I was in the crowd and I like just saw you for the first time, I'd be like, holy crap, this dude's massive. But what are they kind of saying to you? How do you kind of respond when you're in tense environments?
They say a lot. There's some stuff I can't say because it's a little Yeah, sometimes I let it get to me, but for the most part, I really don't. But if we're like up a lot and they're still talking, I'll talk back a little bit. But for the most part, it doesn't get in my head or anything.
Um, I do want to backtrack for a second. You said you were 6'8" in eighth grade. Um, I want to ask because I feel like I have to. When did the growth spurt happen? Was it in middle school? I know you said you've always been taller as a kid. I knew a guy like that from back in my hometown, but he had like seven brothers and four sisters, which I don't know if that's your situation too. But when did the growth spurt happen for you? And yeah, just kind of talk about when you kind of all of a sudden grew to 7 feet tall.
Like I said, I've been tall my whole life. I've really never had like a huge growth spurt. My biggest growth spurt was probably like 2 inches. I was 6 foot in fifth grade, so I never really had that huge growth spurt. But it'd probably be going from sixth to seventh grade, where I was 6'4" to 6'7".
Jeez. Did that hurt? How many cramps did you get in the middle of the night, just like stretching and then you get it in your legs, I'm sure, or what happened?
A lot more back pain than leg pain. But
Mhm.
my brother gets it bad because he like had a huge growth spurt, but I don't get it that bad.
Your dad's on the coaching staff. How long has he been there? You talked about how that's been more comfortable for you. I'm sure you guys talk a lot, off the court when you guys are at home. I'm sure going through film. What has his kind of eyes, not just being, a parent in the crowd trying to help you with like things they see, but your dad, I'm sure since he's on the staff, he's able to break down gameplay, being able to show you, maybe some things you or the rest of the guys on your team. Small mistakes can lead to greater impacts if those can get cleaned up. But what has his kind of mindset, his leadership throughout this year been like for you, and how much has it helped you?
It's been really good. He came in, helped bring in a brand new offense, so teams haven't been really prepared for that. They've seen us play a new offense. We've been running the same offense for this, like past 10 years. When my brother went to Cactus, but he's been really helpful. He kind of takes all the bigs and does work with us. So he's just been helping us to keep a new mindset, just play our game, play a little fancy and all that. Just have fun while we're doing it. So.
So you guys, or you specifically, I know an article is written about you by AZ Central, right? By what's his name again? I totally forget.
I think it's Robert something.
Robert, yeah,
I
yeah,
forget.
yeah. Olbert, I think it is.
Yeah,
Hopefully I
that's
look a
him.
bit cooler than him because I think I saw him in person one time. So hopefully I look a
Yeah.
little bit cooler in person. Um, um, like we talked, like I was going to ask you, we'll get into your recruiting and kind of how that's picked up, but um, you have been getting a lot of recognition. You're, I think, number one nationally in rebounding. I have it saved on my phone. Let me get it up really quick. Just about kind of how your stats match up to the rest. Yeah, number one nationally, 22.9 rebounds, which has changed. You went to 23, so I know you got it by a good margin. Your state rankings, number one in rebounding for the state. It's crazy to say you're 16th in points per game when you're averaging like 32 points a game. I think you might have jumped up, but 51st in blocks and then 32nd in DD. What is that?
Double doubles.
Double doubles. Okay, that's what I kind of figured. Um, First in your class, fifth in points per game for your class, and 16th for your class. And then for the position, you're first in rebounding, third in points per game, 34th, excuse me, in blocks per game, and 17th in double doubles. Um, what has that been like with the article that came out and being able to see that you're really one of the top guys in the country with how you're putting up stats? How do you kind of not let, I guess, the noise get to your head, the kind of like popularity and just the hype, I guess, get to your head, and being able to stay humble and continue to grow and be a better basketball player?
It's been pretty cool with all the hype and all that coming around, but I've been with my dad. He's helped me like keep my head through it because he was a basketball guy where he played in like the NBA a little and all that. So he's been like trying to mentor me through it all to keep my cool. Like, yeah, have the praise a little bit, but you still got to perform every night and keep doing what you're doing to win that state title. So
So you, like we said, been getting a lot of colleges looked at you across the country. I know you took a visit to Washington State as well a couple of months back. With how this year has gone for you, you're only in your junior year, so you're going to have one more year to dominate even more if you feel like it, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
how has the recruiting been for you so far? Has it picked up throughout this first month of the season? And just kind of give us an update on what it's been like for you throughout the year regarding recruiting.
I've been talking to a lot of schools before season start since the Under Armour circuit with AZ Select, but since season start, it has kind of like skyrocketed a little bit. I've had like top schools like U of A, Princeton, and all of them reach out, so it's been really good. And no offers from season yet, but there's a lot of interest from like Boise State and all that. So hopefully more offers in the future. But right now, I'm just more focused on winning that state title.
So that was gonna be my next question for you. Your guys' goals for the season. Your standings right now. Let me get it up. You're first in your section with Peoria and Deer Valley, 11-0. What are the goals for you guys the rest of the year? I'm sure it's to win that region, of course, but also the state. But what has kind of been the mindset? What's been the goals that you've talked through with your teammates and kind of the standard you've set for yourself for the rest of the year?
Uh, Probably our top goal is definitely to win state, but I think just to keep the wins rolling and all that, hopefully we can stay undefeated. But yeah, probably just winning state and keeping our heads through all of it and not letting like we're gonna win, come into a game all cocky and all this, and just the other team blow us out. But just winning the state titles are our main goal.
Who are you most looking forward to playing the rest of the year? You've had a pretty, I don't want to say tough schedule. You guys have played really well, winning a lot of close games, a lot of tough opponents. Thunderbird, Peoria, Deer Valley, Agua Fria, Goldwater, and a couple more schools, kind of just in your region for the rest of the year. Who are you most looking forward to playing against for the rest of the year? And yeah, just tell us who you're excited to play and go up against team wise.
Definitely be Peoria. Those games are always the best. Our gyms are always packed. There's always people standing on the sides and all that. So it'd definitely be Peoria.
Is there anybody that stands out to you on that team that you're excited to play against? I've had Andrew Camacho on, who is a great guard. He's getting a lot of looks too, I know. But is there anybody else besides Camacho that you feel like is someone to watch out for when that game goes on?
Yeah, obviously Camacho. He's second behind me in the state in scoring, but also Calvin and Caden Bass have been really good this season. So
One of my last questions for you. You guys are Under Armour, correct?
yeah, we've been under Armour, but our AD's making us switch to Nike. So
Okay. Does that mean new uniforms right now, or does that just after this season?
yeah, we only are getting one new uniform this year. We got our blue uniform, which we don't really wear, but now we're starting to wear it. But it's really good. I like it.
Um, for you, favorite on court shoe is the last question I ask. Um, what first off, before we get into your favorite shoe, what size shoe are you? And is it
I'm a size,
hard for you to find shoes like for the size you have?
uh, kind of. I'm size 16. They really always have it online, but you'll never find a good basketball shoe in person.
So what shoes have you been rocking with this year? I know a lot of guys that are, of course, in the 6'5", 6'4". They rock a lot of Kobe's. I saw a kid. I saw Adam Asai wearing the Lucas yesterday at an event I was at. But what shoes have you been rocking with? What's been most comfortable for you when you're dominating on the court?
Right now, my favorite shoe is probably the KD 15 on Pearls, but I
That's a
like
good shoe.
wearing PG4. Yeah, I wear PG4 Gatorades and all that. And then I'm trying to get into the Kobe's. It's just hard to find a good pair that's not in the thousands.
Which I honestly thought it wouldn't be so much money for your size, but I guess since they're probably more limited in that size, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. If you were to get one or two Kobe's, what would the colors be?
Probably the Kobe 5, Bruce Lee's, and the
Okay.
alternate Bruce Lee's, and then probably the Kobe 6s. Obviously, I like the Mambasitas.
Yeah, yeah, those are fire. I saw Tyler Fry wearing those yesterday, and I'm like,
Yeah,
those were the first time I've seen them in person. I'm like, those are pretty clean. I might need to get a pair. But
yeah, that's
Bradey, I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with us. Very excited to have you on. Anything to shout out before we get out of here?
uh, just stay tuned for us. We're making some noise this year, so be prepared.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Keep dominating like you have. Wish you nothing but the best of luck. And I'm gonna try to make it out to one of those Peoria games to come and watch you play. So good luck, man, today, especially for your tournament. And I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.